So here we go. Ooh, all right. So Spanishiwa might be able to gain some ground back here. Drewbie going to be starting here in the 1 o'clock position as the red Terran. Going to have Spanishiwa starting the 7 o'clock as the yellow Zerg. So max spawn distance. This will at least give Spanishiwa some running room, especially with that easy to navigate choke with the double ramp, all that good stuff. And,
yeah, this will give him an opportunity to have his style shine a little bit more. He'll have some breathing room. Should be a really good game. We'll see what he can do with it. So, might see his Nidus play. That'd be kind of fun. He does like to use Nidus worms on these longer maps sometimes.
And he's very good at using them. So, yeah, I would love to see a Nidus worm pop up on here, especially with how he likes to load and unload these things like crazy. Obviously, you remember that one game that we casted last week where it was in the Canadian StarCraft League. It was literally they base swapped essentially because of a Nidus worm. So it was some crazy intense stuff.
Yeah, it always makes for some entertaining matches, and obviously we all love to watch and cast entertaining matches. So we'll see what he can do here. Obviously opening up with looks like is he going for his hat? No, that's just a scout. Never mind. Gonna wait a little bit and then
so well off actually happening for Drewbie right off the bat. He isn't. We'll see if he does go for that 1 Rax fast expand on this round.
Funny, if there was ever a map to do it on, this would be the one to do it now with the spawn locations, so he can get more of that economy. But it's worked for him the other 3 games, so I would assume he would try it again, unless he wants to do something different. But we'll see.
Right. So there's the hatch. It has gone down, but obviously with these locations, it's a little bit easier to get everything online. So we'll see what's going on this time around. We'll see what Drewbie has planned up, because pretty much we've seen him go the same thing every time, except for last round he got the Hellions out a lot faster. But it, pretty much has been the same opening of the either a 2 Rax or 1 Rax, and then going for the fast expand, and then tacking up to that factory and medevacs. So we'll see what he does this time around. Obviously, Spanishiwa has a lot of ground to gain. He's down 3 games. Drewbie's on the hill. All he'd have to do is win this game. He's sealed the deal for tonight for his team, and Root would be pretty much up 1 game. So we'll see how he plays this out. Obviously, spawning pool almost done. Hatchery pretty much finished as well. And this Overlord sneaking around the back and try to get some forward momentum in terms of scouting preference, but is going to probably eventually see this expansion going down for Drewbie, as he is going for a 1 Rax fast expand.
Yeah, no reason to stop it now. If it works so well in the other 3 games, granted the close spawn locations, but like I said in the beginning, if there's ever a map to do that with the spawn locations, this would be the opportunity to do so. So Drewbie going to have a lot more time to do whatever he wants to do, but Spanishiwa also might have a chance to actually do some of his creativity. We'll see. But training his queens, obviously, so he's going to be going with his heavy queens like always. So sticking with the Spanishiwa style.
Well, 2 queens off the bat is fair game. It's the fact of when he goes 3 and 4 that it kind of makes it more of his style, which obviously to some people is like,
and
why
there's 2
would you
more coming out. That's why I said, I don't know. He's got 2 more coming out. That's why.
Right.
Usually, I don't know. I just had a good
fair enough. So 1-1 coming out for Drewbie. At least so far, we'll see if he goes for the double fact like we saw last time. But he's putting down the solitary one right now. We do see Marines sneaking back home. They did come in and take down a couple drones. Tried to go for the queens, obviously didn't make it. And Zergling's on the way. But looking over at economy, 26 to 22, so 31 now to 22. So at least Spanishiwa staying ahead economically, which is what he needs. But looking like the reactor is going to be finished, and we'll see if this barracks and factory switch back once both these things are done. And there goes the 4 extractors coming in, and there is going to be the swap. So going for Hellions and going for a starport. So we're going to be seeing a Hellion drop here shortly. Coming in.
He might just go with so we looks like he's just going to be doing his starport play. So 1-1-1, gotta love it. Especially in this situation. Spanishiwa, obviously, if he gets to him quick enough again, he goes Banshees, has cloak. Not going to be much he can do about it. So we'll see what happens, but.
Right, obviously 3 queens along with 2 spine crawlers are going to be blocking this forward ramp. So main is pretty guarded. Unfortunately, a drop is going to get around all that layer tech on the way. Creep really kind of needs to be spread up here on this main. There's so much fire war still in this main base. You can already see 2 Hellions going to be making their way down, going to be blasting this one Zergling. So at least Spanishiwa has an idea that there are Hellions on the board now, but unfortunately the question is going to be, can he stop the drop that is going to be making its way over here as well, potentially. And yes, the medevac is on the way. Going to see the factory lift off and going to be switching out, potentially going to be transitioning to either siege tanks or something else, and we'll possibly see this barrack switch back. But in the meantime, scans going out, going to be taking these creep tumors out with these 4 Hellions, and going to be stopping this creep expansion, which is going to be a huge gain for Drewbie, as obviously that slows down all the Zerg units. And Queen's going to come to the front, going to be pretty much pushing these guys back. Going to get a couple quick shots in, but you can see without the blue flame, really not going to be doing too much to these Queens.
Granted, of course, Drewbie's taking the opportunity to go start building his third over in the bottom natural, so he's going to be going for a little bit more of a hyper economy build here to support
and
his
there's
army.
The load up. Here comes the drop. We'll see how effective it is. Does the Overlord see it? No. This one will, however, though. And Queen's already going to move in with some of the Zerglings. Unfortunately, they're going to get taken out. He's going to have to lift these off. Nice lift. And he's going to actually be using the medevac as line of sight to get a couple.
That was an
more
interesting
lanes.
play to get a few lings. Yeah, that was a nice line of sight play there. Queens obviously weren't in position to hit them, so took advantage of the opportunity.
Yeah, Infestor Pit going to be finishing up right as this drop comes in. Going to try to get these drones. Now the problem is that they're going to get funneled through this part on the right-hand side and through the spawning pool. He does take about 4 drones down, maybe even 5. And going to be lifting back off. Medevac actually really low, and this is not going to be good because he's going to lose it. Oh my god.
There it goes. Wow. Just barely snuck that. Of course, Lings found that third just now too, over in the naturals of the south, but Spanishiwa is aware of it. Of course, he's obviously getting his third now as well, so we're starting to see the east-west split of Shakuras that tends to happen when you have these spawn locations and makes for some really fun macro games.
Tons of Zerglings, though, making a beeline for this third. He's going to at least try to get the Marines out of here. Going to try to get the CC damage as well. Obviously, that'll lift off here shortly. There goes the stem. Going to be kind of pinched in here, but unfortunately, because of the pathing, he does get this round nice. And
yeah, he's going to have to lift off that third for now if he wants to keep it, but yeah, there it goes. Fly away. Come back another day. So, going to disable that third for now, which is going to be Spanishiwa the edge for a change. It's been a while since he's actually had...
Oh my god, and this natural's so exposed. All these SCVs, there goes the stem from the Marines coming down the ramp, but so many of these SCVs are going to get taken out, going for the Marines instead now, trying to get them back onto the SCVs. And this is going to be a lot of economical damage.
Yeah, doing what he needs to do, obviously. I mean, the third has been disabled. The natural took some heavy economic damage. He has his third, so, I mean, this is now starting to turn into Spanishiwa's game. Which, here comes the next set of Lings. Speedlings with Infestors again. So, and he has Burrow done as well, so he'll be able to burrow them and move them wherever he needs them to be. But, gonna be very interesting to see how Drewbie reacts to this again. I mean, obviously he knows the style, but he's at an economic disadvantage, which is a position he hasn't been in yet this series.
Oh, it doesn't want to burn these Lings, though. Oh my goodness, almost ran up into a pretty much an unneeded firefight. Fungal growth going to come in on the SCVs, and Medevac's going to try to heal through these. Zergling's going to try to get this round, and all these Infestors, aside from one, no, it does get picked as well. Fungal growth can be used right as he gets
using scans all over the place to take them out. He does not want those Infestors alive. I mean, he knows that'll tear his army to shreds, but always entertaining to see the crazy mass scan just to find them.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, obviously SCV is going to be transferring to that third. Infested Terrans did get put out. Unfortunately, not going to do that much. So, I mean, looking over to economy, 65 to 53. So, I mean, Drewbie is behind economically in terms of workers. Obviously, that movement of SCVs over to the third is going to slow him down even more. So, and on top of that, we do see that Spanishiwa is transferring to a fourth. so that's going to help out. Zerglings.
I do see Drewbie, of course, put one missile turret in front of each of his naturals just to see the burrowed infestors in case they come back. So he's not taking any chances anymore with them. He's like, you are not going to sneak those under my nose anymore. Thank you very much.
And having said that, here comes 3 more on the way. We'll see if he can nab this. Obviously, they're going to have to unburrow to cast that growth, but we'll see what he does here. As he is going to be moving in, going to be moving back as well. And no, he's actually going. Nice cast.
Oh God, they're all gonna. Oh my God. Drewbie wasn't paying attention there. They were just sitting. It's like, fungal growth me, please. Fungal growth me. Good Lord. Ling's gonna come in here. More fungal growth on that bio ball. Gonna be able to hold it off for now, but reinforcements coming in here, and Drewbie, of course, is probably hitting himself for just leaving that huge army in a nice little ball for those infestors, but he will rebuild, and then we'll see what happens next.
Yeah, those were actually really crucial fungal growths. Obviously, he cut the army in half. Lings were able to come in there, clean it up, and you can actually see Drewbie having to react now, putting forward missile turrets and a bunker down just to ensure, but at the same time, you got to remember these back rocks are no longer here around the Zelnile Watchtower. And actually, can he see this? No, he can't. It's just far enough back that he can't. But again, Spanishiwa still has a route through, so Drewbie not exactly out of the woods yet with this whole burrowed infestor thing. Can easily still slip some stuff through if he really wanted to, especially with a couple of Lings and now an Overseer moving in here. He does have enough for a Contaminate. We'll see if he casts on anything, but so many racks is out right now for Drewbie. He's actually supply blocked, which is not good. Army count right now 152 to 113, and Contaminate's going out, looking like he is building up in the middle here. So Broodlords are out. Oh my goodness. And so we're going to see 92 Zerglings, 5 Broodlords, 4 Infestors, and 4 Queens against 4 Marauders, 33 Marines, and 8 Medevacs.
Well, let's not also forget the Adrenal Grands and the 3/3 ground, or 3/3 ground armor and 3/3 or 3 attack.
Yeah, that is almost.
So those Lings are going to be just like, hi guys. Combined with the Broodlords, I mean that's a really, really great set of upgrades for him right now. I love watching the Adrenal Glanded Lings. They just tear things to shreds.
Right. So here comes the Broodlords. There are going to be 4 of them. Unfortunately, he doesn't have any Lings with him. I'm surprised that the Broodlords have been allowed to advance this far. They're actually kind of sitting ducks here if the Marines were to go for him. But Drewbie is going to be pushing back instead.
Well, he's really lucky that Drewbie didn't decide to turn around and take those out, because they were extremely vulnerable there. But here comes our cracklings, of course, here, getting ready to have some fun.
Yeah, going for that third, and now going up to the main, and there's just so many Zerglings. You're going to get the mixture of Broodlings involved in that as well. Obviously, that's free army units for him. And I honestly don't see Drewbie holding this line. Spanishiwa potentially going to get one back here if he doesn't waste all these. Obviously, you can see him moving back. And Forth trying to keep the Broodlings going while he tries to get the Zerglings to intermix to just buy some time for a little bit of a build-up. And Vikings are now out. That is not good. Infestor's going to come in, and that'll help out a little bit. But, oh, nice phone growth under the Marines. That's going to help out a ton. And Overlord's coming in here to absorb a lot of the damage from the Broodlords. I'm sorry, the Vikings, rather. That's terrible. But in the meantime, Command Center liftoff. There's the GG. And Spanishiwa gets one back.
Yeah, that was the classic Spanishiwa there. I mean, that's what everybody loves to watch. You know, that late game when he has the Broodlords, the Cracklings, just storming over everything. I mean, it's so hard to stop that when they have 3/3 like that. I don't care what you do against that swarm. It'll eventually overwhelm you if they have the economy to rebuild it constantly like he did. Mm-hmm. So we got one back. I'm going to be interested to see what map Drewbie picks now. Obviously, he can't go to Shattered Temple. He can go back to Metalopolis if he so chooses.
This is true. He actually could go back
considering his luck.
Whoa.
He could, too. We'll see. I mean, it's interesting. I mean, obviously, he had a lot of luck. First time he had max spawn distance, he got completely destroyed long term. So it's kind of interesting. He might choose to go with another short rust distance map and just try and do the same thing he did in the first 3 games. I'll be curious to see if that's what he chooses. But